Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say. The allocation of public land remains one of the most sensitive and politically charged issues in governance, often serving as a litmus test for transparency, accountability, and equity. In Nigeria, recent controversies surrounding land allocations, especially under the tenure of Nyesom Wike, particularly in his capacity as the Minister of the FCT, that's the Federal Capital Territory, have ignited widespread debates. Allegations of favoritism, lack of due process, and opaque decision-making have cast a shadow over his administration's land policy. As public scrutiny intensifies, the controversy underscores broader concerns about governance practices, institutional integrity, and the equitable distribution of national resources. It's another wonderful episode on your favorite primetime show, Ways. And of course, my name remains Osayiwa Mesale. Tonight, we take a closer look at the controversy surrounding Nyesom Wike's land allocations. Of course, that is raising serious questions about transparency, accountability, and surrounding Nyesom Wike's is raising serious questions ethical use of public office. Now remember, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button, like, share. Now invite your friends and family to also join on our live links and watch the show. When we open the phone lines, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think is going on? But first, let me allow you to ponder on this very interesting quote from the man himself. It says, there's great accountability and transparency in the way funds are managed now. That is from your Nyesom Wike. All right, so we'll delve into the conversation around land allocations and all the allegations, all the petitions, everything, all the different things have just been coming up, right? We'll delve into that much later, but first, let's run off on a break. When I come back, I'll let you in on my news interests for the day. Stay with us. All right, thanks for staying tuned. I'm going to start off this news interest. You know I cannot help myself. Anything that has to do with Akpabio, we have to talk about it. So Senate President Godswill Akpabio accidentally referred to the funeral of late President Muhammadu Buhari as Tinubu's burial. During a speech, this slip-up had sparked reactions, with some speculating about potential political undertones. And of course, again, you can't ignore what had happened earlier on with Governor Hope Uzodinma, who made similar mistake earlier, calling Buhari's funeral Tinubu's burial, during a prayer session. So I think if you haven't heard these videos, Please watch these clips, then I'll come back.
May the soul of the former president, President Bola, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the souls of all the faithful departed through the mercy of God rest in peace.
Hello, T. Give me G.
And the whole country is very proud of what this manner President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and was buried. And you can see, even from President Buhari was honored and buried. And distinguished Senator Nengi, you also observed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not be forgotten for what he did during the burial ceremonies of President Muhammadu Buhari. So, in the Senate, we are also determined to ensure that in our books, the record says that we also had this tree, despite all said and done.
Our dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I hope all is well with you, and I hope you're well. Because it doesn't look well when people are just slipping up and, referring to you as the person that has, passed on to glory. It's just so interesting. So in my head, I'm thinking, is it that because some of these things, right, they are almost on autopilot, because you don't even have the consciousness. It means whatever it is that is being spoken there, you're not present. Like literally, I can be here and just read from a script, right? Without being present. That's what is happening, because if you were conscious and you were present, but hey, let's just call it a mistake. But please, I hope our president is okay, because this one are two people, two people, back to back, I've referred to you as the person that has passed on to glory. But I just thought to mention it. I cannot help myself. When it comes to Akwabi, I have to say, I have to say what I have to say. All right, so let's move on from that, But we pray for, health and wellness for the president, because this is just an unfortunate slip that has happened. So the Federal High Court in Lagos has struck out the 12.3 billion naira fraud charge that was filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that's the EFCC, against the chairman of Honeywell Group, which is Dr. Oba Otudeko, and 3 others, after the anti-graft agency formally withdrew the case on Wednesday. Now, the EFCC had, in a suit, right, filed 13 count charges against Otudeko, that's the former First Bank managing director, and Olabisi Onasanya, former Honeywell board member, and Soji Akintayo and I think he's with Anchorage Leisure Limited. Now, the defendants were accused of conspiring to fraudulently obtain 12.3 billion from First Bank of Nigeria under the guise of credit facility for VTech Dynamics Links Limited, and of course Stallion Nigeria Limited. So EFCC's counsel, Rotimi Oyedepo, told Justice Chukwu Jekwe Aneke that the matter had been amicably resolved between the normal complainant, First Bank, and the defendant, and the first defendant, Otudeko. And of course, Otudeko's counsel, Bode Olanikpekun, informed the court that all issues leading to the institution of this charge had been completely resolved. Okay. I'm hoping that the people with First Bank, banking with First Bank, investors' funds are safe. But this was a real big issue then. So maybe truly they have found, a way to resolve the matter. Let's hope for the best. All right, I'll move on to the final story. The United Nations Children's Fund, that's UNICEF, right, said that 3.5 million children in Nigeria are suffering from severe acute malnutrition. Now, it is also said that 400,000 children risk preventable death in 1 month, right, and 8 days due to severe malnourishment or risk preventable death in 1 month, right? And 8 or chief of field operations Leviel. The country faced a stock out of its essential nutrition commodities. Nigeria has potential to produce such individuals. That's what he said. He says a lot, or she said, a lot can be done to prevent this situation by essential commodities. I'm talking about ready-to-use therapeutic food. She, however, said more needed to be done, adding that the nutritional stabilization centers were already outstretched. The Veil stressed that the need for not only for funding, but also for skilled personnel and essential medicines. Right, that's what she said. So I just wanted to quickly touch on malnutrition in Nigeria. See, for what we have as just even natural resources within our country, within our nation, malnutrition shouldn't even be an issue. And this thing is also, this is why whenever I stress on one, I always go back to how one thing is affecting other things, right? We have sorghum, we have millet, we have, I'm just trying to top of my head, we have corn, we have soya beans. So we have a lot of grains that can actually, help in the formative years of children. And so when we are having trouble with people going into farmlands to be able to farm those produce, and then we don't even have enough processing plants or processing companies to be able to process those things, then you would always have difficulty, when it comes to food generally. Now, not to talk about child nutrition. I think I will be able to speak to Adetong to see what is feasible. Because I know that we have all of these things, but where are the experts, that are converting these things into, what's it called, packaged products that they can actually send in bulk without it going bad and all of that. All of those things are important. I remember that my younger sister, when she was raising her kids, every single thing that came into their mouth, right, was handmade by her. So she would boil the rice, boil the carrot, boil the liver, boil all the potato and everything, and blend everything into a puree. And they would, you need to see their pictures. I've told her several times that all those recipes that you used in raising those children, because extremely healthy, chubby, you see them well-nourished children. I've spoken to her to put it in a document, right? Put it in a menu recipe for kids, because a lot of people, just even with the things we have in our homes, you can actually make healthy meals for the children. So so that step is already even one step. Now imagine if there is intentionality to say that no child left behind, and every household would be given adequate resources and all of that to be able to just even survive. Now see how that will go far, So it's very important that apart from what UNICEF is doing, great job by the way, the government needs to step in. We need to get more people back producing food in this country so that we can have enough to be able to feed everyone, including the children. I think we have one final story. The House of Representatives is seeking an end to the patronage of private schools and hospitals. This followed the consideration of a bill sponsored by lawmakers representing, I think, the federal constituency of Abia State, addressing the press. Oga, I think that's his name, said that the legislation is designed to restore public confidence and accountability in Nigeria's education and healthcare sector. He referenced the educational backgrounds of Nigerian founding leaders, the likes of Sir Amadu Bello, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, and Sir Tafawa Balewa, who all attended public or mission schools, yet emerged as exceptional visionary leaders, right? He added that the preference of private and public health care by government functionaries has led to a disturbing decline in the public service standard. He also criticized the massive capital flight due to medical and educational tourism. The lawmaker stressed that the continued neglect of public institutions by those in power breed public distrust and worsens the decay of essential services. The lawmaker called on the media, civil society groups, and the public at large to support the bill and encourage a renewed sense of ownership and pride in public institutions. It is meant to be for people in the serving in the government establishment, so public office holders. My dear, is dead on arrival. It's a good thing. We said it. I mean, the day I had the conversation around medical tourism, I said that if we start to have a lot of people that are in power, use hospitals, it would make a difference. But I don't know how far this bill will go. I know medical tourism. They won't. Let me not be the how this bill will go. But if this bill pulls through, this would be a breakthrough in our education and healthcare sector. Things will start to change, because if they are mandated to use those public institutions, be it educational or healthcare institutions, definitely we'll see a change. All right, so let's go on a break. When we come back, Nyesom Wike is on the table tonight. Stay with us.
Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us. Navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the conversations that define us. Navigating love, separations, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow. Through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing